What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play the Knife of Dunwall. We're actually going to infiltrate the barrister's mansion here for just a brief minute to get a rune and get some optional dialogue here in this room. Otherwise, the barrister's mansion is definitely a place you want to avoid, especially if you're going for non-lethal, because it's swarming with guards, and Barrister himself is pretty hard to get to. So we're going to ignore that.
Who are you?
I understand your curiosity. I'm strange. I was a baker's apprentice in Dunwall Tower. A friend to Jessie when we were girls. Then afterward, I made my name as a painter. Now, I'm obviously something much greater. I hope that satisfies you. Because you won't get more. I ought to just kill you. But I'm going to give you a warning for the sake of my sisters. Who were very impressed with you once upon a time. Stay away from me. There are great changes coming, and I'll expect you not to interfere. I have influence in places you won't expect. But as for Arnold Timsh, do what you want. I won't hold a grudge. I'm done with him.
Is that who you were looking for? Well, she's a bit of a bitch, and the artwork's hopeless. I know you have your reasons.
It looks like the barrister had a very odd fixation with Delilah, and is very secretive as to keep her statue here in this storeroom here. Anyway, we have 5 runes, so we're going to go ahead and get 2 more powers. We're going to upgrade the Arcane Bond, which allows our assassins to make the full use of all of our powers, as well as we're going to increase our health just a little bit, which is pretty minor. Not a whole lot you can really benefit from that. There's a lot of other things here in the barrister's mansion, which I'm going to be showing off. I do not want to get spotted by this guy, because I do not want the entire place on my case, and that was not meant to be a rhyme. I was a poet and didn't even know it. I should probably chuck that guy's body out the window too, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20. This, I believe, is actually the barrister's bedroom, and it's actually usually where we find him at first. He's up here with another associate of his, and then they kind of walk off together or something like that. And he has a chest right here we can only open with the master key. I think there's a bone charm in there. We'll be coming back for that later. Or I may actually decide to pass up on that one, but you know how to get to it. There's a very nice painting there from Delilah. But as soon as we get the master key, it's on his person, I believe. And I think there's other ways of getting it too. So now we're actually going to backtrack a little bit now that we've done that and go back to the outpost that Billy Lurk has set up for us. And as I mentioned in the previous video, Dowd and his assassins have been staking out this location for quite some time because Barrister Timsh has been a prime target for a long time. So essentially they already have all these supplies in place just in case something like this were to happen to go down, and sure enough it is. So okay, I can't cheat and blink my way over there like I thought I could. We're just gonna have to go around. Yeah, in addition to restocking on all of our stuff while we're over here, we'll get some brief dialogue with Billy, and she will give us some intel on the location of the barrister within the mansion, as well as the location of the storeroom where he keeps his last will and testament, which is essentially what we're here for anyway, regardless of what happens to him. There's a map of the legal district and a map of the particular street block that we're on, as well as a note here.
I hope he dies a lingering
That
death.
note tells us where he's typically going to be. And now we have a little marker. So we're all set up. The most important thing that I got there, especially if you're doing non-lethal, is the key to the basement. And now that we have that, we're just going to go back to where we came from. And unfortunately, again, I can't clear that gap. I'm really getting overzealous with these jumps here. If I had Blink 2, I could clear that gap, but I'm not really planning on getting Blink 2. Actually, everything I just got with the most recent runes that I got is pretty much everything I hope to get. I honestly would have rather had Master Assassin than to have had Arcane Bond 2, now that I think about it, but I wasn't really sure what I was getting. Like I said in the previous video, you have to read Roland's journal there in order to get the objective for the non-lethal objective here. In order for the because just like I said earlier in the mission, you can end up being smarter than this game and end up breaking this mission. by being more clever than you should and trying to do things out of order. And this mission does not allow for sequence breaking. And I almost broke the mission in a completely different way there by glitching myself into that wall. I just broke my own collision detection. I literally did nothing. I just walked into the wall until it submitted. Alright, so here is a odorous sack. It's a pestilent mass of filth. And what we're going to do with it is evil and insidious. We're going to actually take it down here to this alleyway where trash typically goes, such as this guard who's walking around here. He is quite the trash himself. And we're waiting for him to have his back turned so we can take him out. Simple enough. And now using the key to the basement, we'll get inside the back of the barrister's mansion. This is like a supply room. This is like a wine cellar basement. There's a bone charm over here. We'll be taking a look at what that is later. But this essentially is like the back room, storeroom for the kitchen. So there's a lot of maids walking around in here, so we need to be careful not to stir them up because they'll go running out the back door and hide. And I think I just startled them anyway. Anyway, we put the odorous sack in the ventilation shaft, which is going to cause everyone in the building to be like, what is that stench? And leave. And just in time, too, a general from the City Watch will be showing up to do an inspection on the place. So what you would do for the non-lethal route is go up to Barrister Timsh and swap the documents for his inspection with a document with a fraud document that basically puts incriminating evidence in his hands, so they would take him away. But we didn't swap any documents, and we don't care about the barrister getting arrested. How unfortunate. And actually, because we stirred up those guys as we walked by, they're not going to have that conversation that they would normally have where he shows them the letter from the Lord Regent, which is very unfortunate for him. No more Barrister Timsh. Yes, that was my plan all along. Get him out in the open and then blow his limbs apart. That worked out quite well, I do say. What I ideally would have liked to have done is for them to have had that conversation, but the script for that was skipped over because the guards were alerted. Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to blink over here. That guy, for some reason, died from that and disappeared. I'm going to want to disable this alarm. I'm actually going to start a fight here in the courtyard now that I've dealt with most of these guys that are out here. And the reason for that is I need to get the key off of the barrister and to his safe there, so we can get all his items and get his last will and testament. I'm using an assassin and slow time here. All right, boys, time to take out the trash. You keep him busy. I'm gonna steal the goods and we'll get out of here. Greetings, gentlemen. This is a stick-up, so everybody needs to get the hell out. Yeah, luckily his last will and testament is pretty close to the entrance to the building.
That's strange. Timch doesn't name himself a beneficiary in the will. He's giving the inheritance to Delilah.
I'll feed your heart to the house. I need more men.
Alright, boys, you know the music. Time to dance. Let's get out of here. Our work here is done. We just got to meet up with the barrister's niece, and we will be done. And we completely failed the non-lethal objective because we killed him. But otherwise, we did every objective that the non-lethal objective requires, except if you're going for that, definitely swap the documents before you put the odorous sack in there, because you'll never be able to catch him in time. I promise you that. He will run like hell to get out of there to meet that general from the City Watch out there. So now we're just simply going to go back the way we came. We've gotten all the collectibles that I care for in this level, and we just need to give the document to Talia, and hopefully she will give us the intel that she has on Delilah. Perch ourselves on a streetlight here. The only thing I'm really worried about getting out of here is getting past that wall of light checkpoint there. right at the beginning, because we had that guard outpost there right by the wall of light that we could use as a vantage point to hop over that enormous wall. But we don't really have that going the other way, so we're gonna have to pull some shenanigans to get all the way up there. But I think we should be okay. There's another streetlight I can always get on. I kind of wish there was a visibility indicator in this game that lets you know like how visible you were, but I realize that's more of a trope of the more sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but modern like technology stealth games like Splinter Cell. But whatever. All right, there's some butchers here in the corner. We're gonna blow them up. I think they only show up here as a consequence for how you played out the previous level. So if you did not blow up the butcher factory, the butchery, then they would not be there if you did.
Your uncle is dead. This is his will, as agreed.
Uncle's dead. I've killed now, haven't I? My, how odd that feels. But you were promised information.
No, she paid us well.
My uncle came under Delilah's spell. He was obsessed with her. Everyone knew she'd been a servant at the tower before she studied under Sokolov. She was a painter, an artist. Beneath my family's class, for certain. My uncle became infatuated. But he looked older and made us keep candles lit all night. He was afraid of the dark. One night we all went to Waverly Boyle's for a seance. It was an amusement. We didn't know what we were doing. I thought only the dead appeared at seances. But suddenly Delilah was in the room with us. My uncle nearly died of terror. She was there, but not there. We saw her as if she was very far away, standing in the old Brigmore Manor, painting at an easel, painting a name. It was your name, Dowd. That's all I know. I hope you find what you're looking for.
So much for the good barrister. He had it coming, though. Men like him can never trust anyone. His own niece turned on him. Are you ready to go?
Let's go home.
Alright, so that's it for Eminent Domain. Now on to the final mission.